Hey, what's good? What's good? Yep, it's Coach Rashid, and I am back. I am here. Actually, I'm trying to get some groceries and do a few things, but I was sitting here listening to some videos, and I was listening to some folks talk about, what they're doing out there in the industry, and I watch a lot of people. I just like, what? I got so much on my mind. Things is just rambling. And I said, I'm sure there's other people out there that probably thinking the same thing or may be interested in kind of a different perspective on some of this crazy stuff that goes on, in this space. So, when somebody actually gets an opportunity, they jump on a program back like when COTPS came along. Before COTPS, there was a lot of people out there in the industry trying to figure it out. A lot of rug pulls, and a lot of the scammers were just really, 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 really doing a number. Just one after the other. People that were calling themselves the CEO of a company or COO or something like that. They would do videos. They would do commercials. They would travel to different locations. They would do AMAs. They would show that they're live and doing. There was so many things going on. But then when COTPS came along, COTPS was one of those apps. There was no person that you could talk to. There was just this app. But sometimes when you would access the customer support, or if they said there were some updates going on, then you would see the original language of the app, which was Chinese, right? And so that sparked interest in me, because I'm like, wow, so we can actually see the original version of the app, And so when you start to, figure out how to navigate behind the system to find out what's the origin here, where's this coming from? Because nobody's talking to us. It's all digital, it's all automated. So when you got customer support, it's automated, right? You can see the canned answers, things like that. And then when you ask a question that's a little bit different, you just don't get a good response. You know what I'm saying? So there's always something in there that would spark more questions than answers. So, yeah, it's funny. I'm like, man, I'm sitting in my car and I still got people that decided to stand right next to this car and yak, 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 yak. Anyway, hey, look, it's a free world, right? Um, anyway, they're leaving, so it's all good. So so one of the things that when I look at all these opportunities, and there's something coming every day, and I have these conversations with folks. One of the major things, people think that FOMO is like a legitimate exercise. I'm gonna tell you, FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, then you've probably been victim of it. FOMO is fear of missing out. And one thing I've learned is to be patient if you're going to understand this crypto space, understand online investment space, right? More so, because you can understand crypto, but if you're not investing, if you're not making money with it, then it's not a big deal. But when you're in this space, you got to understand how to be patient. And so what I've seen is that people get impatient, and they think that today this is a new program, and then tomorrow something comes out and they hear one of their influencers talk about it, and they think, oh my gosh, you know what, I need to get on that too, right? Because maybe there's something missing. Maybe I'm missing something. And you've heard me talk about that too, oh my gosh, maybe I'm missing out, like everybody's doing this. But it took me a while to realize it really didn't matter, right? Because one of the key things that you will realize in this space is, if the program is that hot and it's new, or if it's been around for a while and it just kind of came across your plate and you see it as new, if it's that good and you feel like, man, there's this thing, everybody's like on it, everybody's talking about it, if it's that good, it'll be around. You ain't got to worry about it, right? So if you don't have the funds, because a lot of people, they get into this thing and you want to jump on everything. I'm gonna tell you what happens when you do that. And if you're in my mastermind, I talk about this too, that you will see great opportunities pop up. To you, they're great because you don't know if it's good or bad. You just know that, oh, I like the way that looks. And so you jump on one. right? Then you jump on another one. And then you jump, all of a sudden, these are starting to kind of fluctuate. You start to feel the pain. You're like, oh man, this ain't going to work. Or, oh my gosh, this one's about to scam us, or it's going to take my money. And you start to feel that burn, but you're now down $5,000, right? And so you may have money, but you're not going to spend it on anything. Like I'm not getting into another program. But then something comes along and you got a good friend in the industry or somebody that you watch on YouTube that you feel is creditable, and they bring out something. You're like, oh man, I really want to get in that. But guess what? Now you're out of money, right? That risk capital is just dried up. Why? Because you were victim to FOMO. Because the last three didn't work. But you felt, I have to get in them. I'm going to tell you right now, you do not have to get in them, because every day there is a new platform. I'm going to tell you, I got some platforms that I like I said, I had a mastermind last week, and I just only had key people that decided they had the time. They showed up, and I presented to them my final four of 2023. And so while I was doing that, I thought about three key points that I wanted to talk about in the masterclass, right? So every mastermind that I do one once per month. I'm going to do another one this month because we're going to do more of a masterclass. Then I always want to leave some value that is not necessarily on investments or not like that, but it's more about mindset, what I call leader shift, right? Because you got to become the leader of your own finances. You cannot let them run you. You have to let them work for you, right? If your crypto ain't working for you, then you're working for it. And that's not passive income. And we're all about passive income, like P3, pure passive profits. That's what we're all about, right? So one of the key things that I talked about was, there was three things I said. I said, this is core to being the best you can be in this space. You cannot let, some of this stuff take you for a ride. So you got to have these three things, right? Ignite, right? Ignite, influence, and inspire. Yeah, I was about to say empower, but I was looking for a better word. So I thought inspire would work, three I's basically, So you got to have ignite, influence, inspire. And right. And so what do I mean? Right. And so this is like, I was talking about this in my master class. And so one of the things I told the leaders was, in order to ignite, right? A night, that's like getting lit. People say get lit, right? You got to get lit. How do you get lit? Like something's got to ignite that, right? So I said, get excited. When you're lit, you're excited. You get excited, then that's when you can go out there, do them Zoom calls. You can do those presentations. You can talk to your friends, family, anybody about a great opportunity that is happening. You're making good money. Things are just turning around for you. You're excited, right? That's the ignition. Get excited, right? But the influence comes where? It's when you get educated. Because a lot of times you making money, but you don't even know how you're making, because it's easy to make money. That's easy. It's hard to keep it. That's the difference, right? But if you get educated, that's where the influence comes in, because now you're influenced to do the right thing. Oh, wait a minute. Now I know how to do X, Y, Z. Now I know how to look for the best, programs. Now I know how to, right? And so when you know how to do that, you can influence yourself and you can influence others. But you got to get educated. And that's where the influence comes in. And then you got the inspire. Well, when you're getting results, then you are definitely inspired to do a couple of things. One, you're either going to create that goal and you're going to focus on that goal, and you're going to say, now I see how I can attain that goal, because if I'm making X amount, right? Because a lot of these programs will give you a predetermined way to identify how much you're going to make every single month. You just have to get into the right program. If you don't know how much you're going to make, then you're probably not in the right program. There's plenty of them out there, but the ones that are substantially better, they have a predetermined amount that you can make. You have what we call, my man Lambo Drew calls automated income, right? Automated income. People call it passive income. It's automated income. Now it's intentional or predetermined income. Every month I know exactly how much I'm going to make, right? So that's inspirational. Okay. Now you're inspired. You're inspired by what? Results, right? So get excited, get educated, get results. Those are three things, but it's a lot deeper than that. But that's I just want to highlight that because, like I said, when I look around, and you probably, if you watch some of my little quick live videos and stuff like that, it's because I'm sitting here watching people and I'm listening to people, and I'm tripping because I keep hearing stuff that just, sometimes it gets under my skin, and I gotta talk, man, because people are they're bugging out, right? They're bugging out. So people talk about various programs, and then you get that whole FOMO thing going on, and so everybody starts to shift towards, hey, we got to get on this. I'm gonna tell you this is why I'm talking about this, because I know a lot of you people are watching. I know that a lot of you may not be on Team Achieve. You may not be on my team. You may just be like, let me see what this dude talking about, or you may be like, maybe I want to see what he's talking about, just in case I do want to dive deeper and go to his Telegram group and see the plays that he has. Because when I say Final Four of 2023, you will see other folks that have 20, 30, 40 programs, like, really, and then every day they're adding another one. I have a Final Four because those four are going to ride me into 2023 to 2024. Now, those are the promoted ones. There are more behind the scenes that are not going to be my focus of promotions and Zoom calls and videos on the regular. So I'm not saying that there won't be more, and I'm going to talk to you about what I got, but I'm just letting you know there's four that I'm going to focus on like hard, and those are going to really be the ones that you see all the time, okay? Because I want to show that there is a methodology to really succeeding in this space, and you don't have to feel FOMO and fall victim to FOMO just because other folks are doing them. Here's what I mean when I say that. I know people that are in this space that are making good money, so I ain't mad at them, right? But here's the interesting thing. Would you agree that if you've been in this game for 2 years, and you show that you're making really good money, I'm talking 100,000 plus over that time period, some people are doing that, a month. Why are you still on YouTube pitching programs new after new after new? Because if you made that much with a few programs that maybe are private, not private, why aren't you helping your community get involved in those plays so that they can stop chasing the FOMO? Because they're only going to listen to you talk about those programs and the new program and the new program and the new program, and they'll never get off the hamster wheel. And you know what I mean when I say hamster wheel. So this is a challenge that I have for the people that are out there doing that, the ones that are influencing others to do that. Why is that FOMO so strong? Why is it that when, I'm gonna talk about some of the solid plays that I have, top four, and that are solid, that are literally lifelong, right? That been looking for, we got it, now we're good. Like, there's nothing else to do but ride this wave. But instead of doing that, I hear people say, oh man, my man, Jam Z, my man, CM, my man, some other, big YouTubers, influencers out there. Oh yeah, if they got something going on, I'm gonna jump on board. But guess what? There are people that jumped into Anonymous and led that charge, like I'm talking hard, because it was a great program. I'm not saying it wasn't, and it probably still is for some. But I'm saying this because the same people that led that charge jumped onto another program because there was some issues with Anonymous, right? And so they jumped on another program. But guess what happened in the meantime? Now I'm gonna give you, because I'm going somewhere with this. Now they jumped on another one, and so in between there, in one program, some put 20, some put 30, some put over 50,000 into Anonymous. Then they came back, and Anonymous started to waffle a little bit on the withdrawal policy, And then they jumped into an app program. That's why I talked about COTPS at the beginning, because here we have another app type program that had nodes, that has blockchain. They have all of these things that they want to do. Like I said, that Saphir has been doing for the last 2.5 years. Another solid play, but nobody wants to take the time to jump on something that's that solid and that real. Right, but the same people out there that's making all the information known, making these plays well known on YouTube, off YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else, they want to put 20, 30, 40,000 in. That's their money. They can do what they want to with it. But here's the example that I'm giving to you. When you have people that are associated with you in this space that have solid plays, that you can actually be, one, pioneer it, two, you can actually peel back the onion and see that, wow, this one is not going anywhere. This one right here is proven to do what I've been wanting one to do. It's providing a very clear ROI and growing, but instead, because, my man that travels the globe and jumps from program to program, one failure, but because he's a hype man, people follow the hype man. He influenced a whole generation to get into one program, CMB, and then influenced the generation to get into max spread, right? And now he's got them putting in 20 and 30,000 into another program. 2 failures. And you drop 20 or 30,000 into the third program that he introduces. But guess what happened while those were failing? The one that I introduced, paying above average, has sustainability, will not fail, will not scam, will not rug pull, will not lose your money, only growing your funds, came before those that have failed, that people put 20, 30, 40,000 in, and it continues to grow to this day. But those same partners in this space rather go after the guy that had failure after failure when they put 20, 30,000 in, to put another 20 or 30,000 in, when I'm showing you there's a consistent program right here that has no mechanics or lack of bot action, positive results, and is proving that and providing that before those came and after they left. But you choose to go in on another one with the same person. It's very interesting. So I say that to say, I'm going to give you some information right now. I don't go in and I'm not here to go negative on one program against another. Everything has its ups and downs, right? So I'm going to tell you, here's the programs that I'm not in, and then you'll understand what I just talked about. Never been in Novatech, but you know what's happening with Novatech. I've never been in CMB. These aren't paying. Just so you guys know, Novatech, thinking 4 years, yeah, they did their thing. People should have made a lot of money, should have did really well. Hey, that's awesome. I applaud you. I was never in it, but you see where they're at now. I was in Cash FX. Cash FX did really good. I made a lot of money out of Cash FX. I only put 2,000 in, and I got paid for about 2 years on Cash FX. Like every 3 months, I was making money. So I get that. But I'm just saying, I wasn't in Novatech, but you see what's happening. CMB, a lot of people were rushing that. That was a mad rush. Like I said, the person that was at the lead promoting it, hey, I got a 2-year contract with these people. Don't worry, it's going to work. People putting in all kinds of money, 30, 40,000 in that thing. They brought a lot of people in, and a lot of people contacted me and said, man, why did I do that? Yeah, it did happen. And now they're not paying. It hadn't even been a year. That same person promoting influenced people to go over to max spread. Max spread, I'm not in it. I've reviewed it. I like some of what they were doing, but it didn't feel right. Why? Because of the promoter, right? But people follow them again. Okay. Some people are doing really well with it. And I think it's, it's going to do all right, but it's time limited as well. CloudFi. I'm not going to say anything about CloudFi because it's kind of the new kid on the block. But the reason why I bring it up is because there's a um, consistent movement between the CMB, between the max spread, between the CloudFi, right? And there's been good, there's been bad, there's been challenges, but at the end of the day, I still question the person that wants to drop, 20, 30, $40,000 behind any of these programs. I still question that. But let's stay the course. Vortic United. I think Vortic is probably one of the rare ones that I had an opportunity to get in. I didn't feel that it was going to do anything wrong. I felt that it would continue to grow. Um, Everything that I've seen about it has been very positive. I didn't like the ROI, and I didn't like the fact that, in this space to say, hey, you can, put your money in. We're going to pay you less than 1% a day, but your principal will be held for 32 weeks. I just didn't feel that. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that it wasn't something, I wasn't there. But a lot of people that did get in it doing really well, and it's doing great. So I'm not saying there's nothing negative about it. It's just that I'm not in it. I'm just going through what I'm not doing that you hear about, a lot of people talk about, right? Lance Green. Oh my gosh. I'm not into the sports betting. That's not my thing. There's been a couple of programs that's come out with those type of things. They had a nice little strategy where they said, hey, pre-launch, don't tell nobody. You can say LG or GF, whatever. That's just a little gimmick, It worked for some people. Looks like they're doing pretty decent. I don't know a lot about it. I'm just letting you know. I'm not in it. Never. I don't plan on being in it. Streak. I think out of all these that I'm talking about, Streak is dynamite. I'm gonna tell you, Streak is crushing it. The reason why I'm not in Streak is because I attempted to download the app, and it said, "Hey, you're in the U.S. You can't even participate." At that point, I said, "You know what? Why fight with this? I got so many other options." So I didn't fight with it. Now, I know some other people that's outside the U.S. that on my team with other programs. They love it. They're making a killing. So I like Streak, but I just, after I passed on it, I monitor it. I applaud the guys that's making good money with it. It's a great platform, definitely a great platform. GS Partners, I've heard some good and bad about it. Um, I was in it when it first started. When they changed over somewhere, they did a launch or something. They changed some things. It got complicated, and I didn't keep up. So I just didn't follow through on it. I think some people, good friends of mine in the space, are making really good money with it. So I like GS Partners. I went back, I looked, I tried to understand the certificates and all that, Hermes and whatever. I was like, whoo. Anyway, I think it's legit. I think some people are going to do well with that. Um, there are some challenges with if they do have a partnership with the broker, with the broker and the trading platform. So that's some things they got to work out. But I think overall, I think it's a well developed program. Tafabot, you know what? We know good friend Sal Khan. Really a great guy in this space. He's been through the ringer, just like everybody else. He made some bad choices. He put hundreds of thousands of dollars into these programs. He lost a lot, but he gives away a lot, and that's what I love about giving. And I always talk about giving when I do presentations. Is about giving. Pay it forward, contribute. Do something good with those monies that you're making. And I love the fact that Sal Khan does that in space. He really does promote the giving, and that's why he had what he called the gifting tribe. But he is all about the Tafabot. He heard about it. He went to Dubai. He's met with the leadership there. He's really convinced that it's a great program. I did my research and found out that they have so many hidden fees that you probably won't make much money um, on one side. So people that are promoting that, you want to be careful, because if you're promoting it just because of the hype, because you say, oh, it's a bot, and Sal Khan met with the CEO and COO and the second in charge. He's talked to a couple of guys that's making a lot of money with it, but then you don't look at the people that aren't making money and why they're not making money. That's the other side of this. So I'm not saying that the fees aren't legit. They probably are legit, but if they're not exposing those fees, because it's got a big network marketing push. I don't look for network marketing compensation plans for these programs because I'm not here to build. I'm here to provide you an opportunity, right? So if you want to get on it, you get on it. But I'm not here to build 15 levels deep and create, multiple leaders on multiple levels. No, I'm not here to do that. If people join it and they are leaders, then they'll do that because that's who they are and their disposition is to lead. That is on each individual person. So if we have a 2-level affiliate plan, then you come in and you rock it and you do what you need to do with that plan. If it has a binary, I'm probably not going to do it. If it has, a confusing compensation plan with this bonus and 1% here, 3% there. Oh, you got this fuel fee, and then we're going to pay you 10%, and you got to pay that up front, and then we're going to pay you 2% on the back end. And oh my God, I don't want all that. So I just don't want no parts of it. But but there's hidden fees in there that a guy went through it very detailed and explained these hidden fees with that Taffa bot and was not a fan. And so there's other people that's like, oh, it's great. I've analyzed the whole thing, and even though it has this and this, and it really pays. And okay, if that's your choice. I'm not making choices for nobody. I'm just letting you guys know, based on my research, it's not a choice that I would bring to my community because I don't want them to feel that burn, right? FinTalk. We know what FinTalk is. We know that Solar Road came and went. I was in Solar Road. I chose Solar Road. It doesn't look like Solar Road is going to continue. So that's on me, right? So I'm not afraid to let you guys know I chose that because I looked at it as a great business model. The concept was good, but it was still developed just like a COTPS. It was developed in an app somewhere in Asia. Could have been China, could have been Singapore. Everything is claiming Singapore these days when it comes to an app, just like FinTalk is claiming Singapore as well. But China is pretty crafty in creating these platforms. QZ Management was another one, QZ Asset Management. It really got a foothold in South Africa and really spread throughout Africa the first few months of 2023. Made up people a lot of money, and then it crashed and burned. It ripped a lot of people off. And that one is probably the worst for me. Really made me angry that they ripped people off the way they did in South Africa. And like I said, other locations, Kenya as well, and Nigeria. It just wasn't a good look. But it seemed like they really planned out, their exit from the beginning. Because if you listen to some of the Q&A, the person that supposedly was running QZ Asset Management had no clue what an EA was, right? Now, I didn't know until I knew. But if I'm going to be running a company that is talking about we have a bot that is superior to everything else, and we're going to go public with the NASDAQ in about a year, I think I would be smart enough to know all of those things, right? And these are just small things. But anyway, that was something. But the people that were on the call were like, oh, okay, no problem. I'm like, oh my God. So a lot of red flags with that company. Same thing, like I said, when a company talks about, hey, we're born out of Singapore, we're born out of China, but we're going to go to South Africa, we're going to go to Kenya, we're going to go to Nigeria, we're going to go to Slovenia, we're going to go to all these places, and then, hey, guess what? In a year, we're going to launch IPO with the NASDAQ in the U.S. I don't think so. Not at all. So that's just my look. Like, you may have a different opinion about it. Roll with it. So, FinTalk, yeah, hopefully it works out. A lot of people are in that. A lot of people put a lot of money into it. I know people that put 20, 30,000 and they're shaking in their boots, because they shouldn't have took the money from one place to put it into another. And now they about to lose their family. Definitely not the way to go in this business. So look, FinTalk, hope it works out. A lot of good people in that, that I know. So look, if it works, you're going to make a lot of money. If it don't work, you're not going to make a lot of money. Next Gen, it was a nice pitch, kind of like Validus. It came out kicking. People were excited. Open a UK and just all legit big old offices and stuff. Now you don't hear anything about it. Validus traveled the world, traveled to every country, opening up offices and opening up, and still struggle. But they have some long-term legitimacy to them. So I don't think they're out. but they have slowed down a little bit, and that just comes with the territory. There's too many plays out here. People are jumping around, because that FOMO, they think they're going to miss out on something, and so they don't stay with the good ones, and that's unfortunate because the good ones are going to be around the longest. But unfortunately, a lot of people lose out because they decide to walk away from the good ones to go over there for those shiny short-term, high ROI. When if you stay with a good one, you can just make good money. So let's go on to things that work. Right, I'm not in funds as well, just so you know. So here's like I said, when I talk about the final four, my final four for 2023 comes out of this list. What is Coach Rashid in? Because I talk about Final Four, you're probably saying, okay, I don't see a lot, but what are you doing? Well, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go through each one real quick and just let you know. These are the moves that I've made in my crypto journey. Saphir Global, Zanique Technologies. Absolute high level, right? Not for everybody. And the reason why a lot of people aren't in it, and the reason why a lot of people aren't really sticking with it, because they don't understand the business model. It's a blockchain based company. It's absolute leader in tokenization. It is very advanced. The technology that they're producing, the technology that they're putting out there, they're growing and growing and growing every single month, every single year. They're doing things that nobody else is doing. So the things that FinTech is trying to do with their blockchain and the coin and the gamification and the tokenization and the nodes, Saphir Global and Zanique Technologies with Ramzik, tokenized, the aviation, they got tokenizing environmental with the Tupan token, and we got the what we call regardless token. We got the CD token, which is the real estate tokenization. We've done it. We got a Zanique swap, and we got a Zanique coin, we got a Zanique token, we got it on Ethereum, we got it on the Zanique blockchain. And we got a Zanique 20. Zanique Swap has the Z20 smart chain. So, look, guys, I can talk about Zanique all day because revolutionary. It's over 2 years old. So all the people out there that's promoting these other programs and putting $20,000-$30,000 in them, I'm gonna tell you, if you would have dropped that kind of money into Zanique Technologies, you would have been ahead of me, right? But unfortunately, that's not the case. But this is one of the most legit long-term opportunities that has been around since everything else has failed, that all of us have been promoting for the last 2 years. Right? And I'm not going to talk about how much I made, but I've made over 7 figures with that company, just so you know. Crypto program. Some of you are saying, oh no, and the others are saying, oh yeah, because crypto program is crushing the competition. People can talk, but guess what? It doesn't matter what people say. It's what you can prove. I can prove that they're paying me every single day, every single month since I started. They've been paying for over 11 months. So whatever nonsense that somebody has whispered in your ear, let it go, because you can pass me with any of that nonsense, because it's rocking. It's crushing it. Right? So crypto program, top tier program. I'm not going to say what it's about and all that. If you want to know, get in touch with me. Crown Global, private play, making great money. It paused for a while and now back on track. Long-term, awesome benefits. Just like crypto program, it's the bank. So that's another one. Anonymous trading. It was one of the bank type systems that I had set up for my long-term plays. Now they've switched up a little bit, but it's still a long-term play. I've looked at my accounts and I went like 4x everything that I got. I mean, it's just growing crazy. So I still believe that it's a long-term play, and when it gets to a point of withdrawal, then hey, we'll look at that. But it's still growing. Fusion Experience is center to the marketing of any of the programs that I do. And so Fusion Experience is the key that I talked about earlier, in contrast to those plays that those leaders that I talk about are in Fusion Experience, been in Fusion Experience from the beginning, but they walked away. because Fusion stopped and had to switch up and do things right. When they saw there were some problems, they stopped, cut it off. Where most of them cut off, they go away. They came back. And that's where the fault was of anybody that decided to walk away. Then you're definitely you're not looking at this in the right way, because Fusion Experience is definitely a leader in the industry. They're doing things different, and they're doing things with quality. And I'm so happy to be a representative to promote something with that level of quality, from the mission, the vision, and the values. It is absolutely outstanding, right? So that's what's up with that. And so that's going to continue to do what it do. And I hope you stay tuned to see where we're going, because we got something phenomenal that's about to go down with that program. ETF pool surprised me. It's still rocking. I just did a video yesterday or day before, showed some of the trading proofs that they posted up. And so I thought it was just kind of a come and go, fly by night, but it's chalking up to be a legit platform. And so we might talk about that a little bit more. Incomation has some challenges. Pioneer, it's a startup. Incomation is about the prop firm challenges. I call it prop firm profits. If it works out, it's going to be absolutely an unlimited amount of money to be made with that program. But right now, they just got started. This is about the third month. Just the growth has been ridiculous. Offering 2 to 4% a month on a 200K account, you just can't beat that, right? It's like an extra $4,000 a month on autopilot, and all you do is pay for the EA or the bot to do its thing, and then you make your money. So that's where we're trying to get to. But a lot of us have some challenges with the bot and getting that corrected. So I believe that if they can get it right, then life is going to be good. But right now, hey, we're in the early stages, and so stay tuned. But I definitely got that at a high point on my list. Blue Ocean Society is another private play, doing really well. They're still growing as well. After about 7-8 months in the program, good growth. They're redoing the dashboard. They've had some additional investment opportunities for us, where we can really almost double your money in 90 days with a local actual investment opportunity. So amazing. The future's bright. The Fair Project, something I just added about a week and a half ago. Commodity-based nodes, where you have actual asset-backed not use case, but useful. A business is actually doing tokenization, and we are able to buy the license and tokenize everything about the medical and the pharmaceutical industry. And we have actual experts that are leading the charge, which is very cool. You definitely want to check out my video on the Fair Project. Amazing, actually amazing. So what's coming? Potentially, we're looking at Taylor Capital, which is something that I'm exploring. Definitely jumped in. I love what they're doing. One of the chief operating officer, he was very successful with a prior project in the DeFi space called Piston. So you definitely want to check that out. But yeah, this is straight up legit. It has a variety of portfolio items. You can get into metals, you can get in gold, silver, you can get into Forex, and crypto, technology. They got a good variety, and I really like what they're doing. It's right there in the middle of the road. I only have one project that they have that's high risk. Everything else is really average. So it looks like a long-term play. So really good stuff. The other one is Summit Ventures. Summit Ventures is something that is up and coming. I've had a conversation with the developers. I had a conversation with the founders. They're young cats, just trying to make it. They got some industrial grade AI that they were able to access on the down low. And so they're trying to make a name for themselves. So they're willing to, open up the doors and really let us see what's going on. And it's strong. It's strong. When they first pitched it to me, they were only doing about 1% a week. And they said 1% up to like 3%. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But I like those guys. So here it is, like 2 months later. Guess what? They're creeping up on 5% a week. So I'm liking what they're doing. So institutional grade, bot doing this thing. Yeah, I like what they're doing. So the one last thing I'm going to mention is I have a serious play that I haven't talked to anybody about. My sponsor a good friend of mine she's in the UK. from the UK, but her and her son over in Dubai. But they're running a pretty amazing program. And I'm not going to get into it right now, but I'm letting you know that when I do come out with my new exclusive Team Achieve Prosperity Club, they are going to be privy to this new extremely powerful play that I'm talking it is like way new. I'm talking still in the founder status, but it is something that is $1 trillion industry across the globe, and it reaches every area of the globe. This product, I mean, it is phenomenal. It's something. It is a solution to one of the biggest problems on the planet, and most people don't even know about it. But guess what? Team Achieve Prosperity Club, it's going to be one of our special projects. All right. Hey, look, y'all have a good day. I just wanted to come on and talk to you about that a little bit. I know I went a little more time than I thought. Had a lot on my mind. I'm sorry. I had to do what I got to do. But anyway, hey, if you're a subscriber to my channel, thank you. I appreciate you. If you're not, then hey, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you thought there was some value in the video, share it with somebody that you know or don't know. Put it on your page. Put it on, somebody else's page. Put it on a website. Drop it in your Telegram group. Drop it in your Facebook group, right? Just spread it around. Let people know that, look, there are some good people out here that's trying their best to provide you with quality platforms compared to those that are just pitching anything. FOMO is real, but FOMO doesn't have to take over your decision making. You can make the right decision without jumping into a program every single day. Definitely not the way to go, right? If that's your life, it's unfortunate. Team Achieve Prosperity Club, coming soon. I look forward to hearing from you. If you want to know more about it, then I will definitely provide, some updates on that as we get closer to launching. And so I'm looking at, sometime this summer, really closing in on the date to go ahead and kick that off and bring in about no more than 10 really, really good people that are ready to rock and roll to a minimum of 1K per day. And well, I know some people are just starting out, so I'm trying to make sure, because I have people that I've been coaching and talking to, and they had some challenges. They lost a lot, and so they don't have the funds to go big. So I want to make sure I get them to 1K per day. But in the process, the methodology to get the 1K per day is the exact same methodology to get you 10K per day, right? And just like my man Kennard Haney said, he was on the Lambro Drew and he was having a conversation, and he said, somebody told him, it's not hard to make $100,000 a day. And I'm like, wow, that's a whole different mindset. And that's where I need to get you. All right, peace. Get with me. Let's talk about Team Achieve Prosperity Club. Why? Because that's where we start. This is where it all begins. And this is not where the story ends. Peace. And I'll see you on the next one.